Our platoon had just wrapped up a brutal day of patrols in southern Afghanistan. After a long delay waiting for recovery support, our lead truck with a mine roller had gotten stuck. We finally reached Observation Post Manos, near the Helmand River. This post marked the southern boundary of where American troops were allowed to operate. We'd been to OP Manos before, coordinating with Afghan forces stationed there. It was familiar terrain. That night, we'd exchanged fire with what Intel called a red Taliban unit, but as the sun dipped behind the mountains, the chaos faded into silence. We set up night security, using thermal optics and night vision to cover our perimeter. I remember lying on my back, scanning the starry sky, when suddenly our squad leader's voice cracked through the quiet. "Hey, something's flying over us." We all shifted our eyes upward. The squad leader flicked his IR strobe light at the object. Within seconds, the craft responded by flashing back. But what we saw next left us stunned. Beams of invisible infrared light, visible only through our NVGs, rained down over every soldier on the post. These beams weren't random. They swept systematically, almost like the object was counting us. The intensity of the IR light was overwhelming. I'd never seen a drone with that kind of precision or speed, darting from one soldier to another like it was taking inventory. When the beam lit me up, I remember shouting into the darkness, "What the hell is this?" Fear surged through my chest. We called in for air support. An Apache helicopter eventually arrived on station. The pilot reported seeing the object, but as he drew close, the craft killed its lights and vanished, zipping away over the Helmand River at speeds that made even experienced eyes doubt what they'd seen. Back at Camp Dwyer, we debriefed the intel team. After the report worked its way up and back down the chain, confirmation came. No friendly drones had been operating in the area. We never got a real answer, just a mystery that didn't go away. Sometime before 2012, Eastern Afghanistan. "Hey Sarge, what is that?" I've never forgotten those words or the night they were spoken. We were deep in the mountains near Kandahar, and up in the sky, above the ridgeline, there were lights. Not just any lights. These things moved in ways that defied every principle of physics we knew. I saw them too, maybe 3 times during my deployment. Once, someone in my unit even managed to record them on video. We've been trying to find that footage for years. It disappeared somehow, but I remember what it looked like. Through our night vision, the lights danced over the peaks. 2 or 3 objects at a time. They would hover, dart, stop on a dime, crisscross the sky, and then shoot upward at breakneck speed. It looked eerily similar to the FLIR videos you've probably seen from F-18s chasing tic-tac-shaped objects. One time, I even called it up the chain. They told us not to worry about it. Said they didn't see anything. But I know what I saw. We all did. After a few minutes, the lights took off into the sky, leaving nothing behind. We turned and kept patrolling, like nothing had happened. But deep down, every man there knew something was wrong. Fort Drum, New York, about 9 years ago. All right, you know the drill. Plot your points, stay on red lenses only, no white lights. Move quick, finish early, go home. That's how the night began. I was a private first class in a sniper section at Fort Drum. We were grinding hard, prepping for the expert infantry badge, doing night land navigation drills almost every other day in Training Area 1. For context, it's not a big area, about 2 kilometers by 1, but dense with swampland and old, eerie ruins. Scattered throughout the woods were remnants of colonial settlements and graveyards, marked by signs warning, "Off limits," by order of the commander. But it was easy to stumble into one accidentally, especially in the dark. I'd done this course so many times, I could almost guess the grid point just by where it was plotted. They'd give us a 10-digit grid to find, and we'd use a map to locate a stake in the woods, marked with a unique hole punch. No cheating. If your card didn't have the right punches, you failed. That night, under thick clouds with no moonlight, I headed for a point in the northeast corner of the area. I found the stake, punched my scorecard, and turned to head out. That's when I heard it. A breath. A loud exhale, just ahead in the brush. I froze. Scanned the area with my red lens flashlight. All I could see was a fog slowly forming in front of me. It hadn't been foggy earlier. Something was off. The air smelled wrong. Almost chemical, synthetic. The kind of smell that doesn't belong in nature. Then the noise came again, this time mechanical. Rhythmic. like gears or pistons moving in sync. I took a few cautious steps forward. That's when I started to hear faint beeping, electronic tones coming from within the fog. I switched to my white light. Bad idea. The fog just reflected it back, making it harder to see. But through the glare, I noticed something strange. My light was casting a shadow onto the trees. A shadow from something in front of me, yet I couldn't see what it was. I tried to shift angles to catch a better look. And then, boom, a hollow thump, a blinding flash of white light. My ears exploded with a high-pitched ringing. Then, nothing. Darkness. Silence. It was like someone switched off the world. I came to. I was walking. Not standing. Not laying on the ground. I was walking on a gravel road. I was no longer in the woods. I felt sluggish, like I'd been drugged. My arms and legs were heavy. My thoughts cloudy. I stopped, confused. My map was gone, but I still had my punch scorecard. I reached for my phone to get a location, dead battery. So I walked, eventually reaching the main road. I knew this training area well. To my shock, I realized I was at the southwest corner of the training zone. I had been at the northeast corner just moments ago. I checked my watch. Only 15 minutes had passed. 2 kilometers, thick forest, icy terrain, and I somehow ended up on the opposite side of the map in just 15 minutes? It made no sense. My head throbbed. My gut twisted with panic. I vomited right there on the side of the road. Somehow, I stumbled my way back to the rally point. Even weirder? I was one of the first ones back. I handed in my card. 100% accuracy, they said. No one asked about my missing map. Just told me I looked like hell, to drink water, eat something, and get some sleep. Before resting, I went to the latrine to check on a recent groin surgery I'd had. It had been healing well, but now the area was burning, deep inside, like a fire under the skin. And when I pulled my trousers down, I froze. All my pubic hair was gone. Not trimmed, not shaved, completely smooth, like a baby. No stubble, no cuts, just numb skin and that strange deep burn. I had no injuries, no scars, nothing but that unsettling sensation and the overwhelming realization that something had happened to me. I didn't tell anyone about this for years. And when I did, I left that part out. It was too personal, too bizarre. Even now, it's hard to talk about. I've spent years trying to make sense of that night. Maybe I was drugged. Maybe someone out there did something to me. That would almost be easier to believe. But deep down, I know what I felt. I think I found something I wasn't supposed to find. And I think whatever it was, it found me back. Maybe it was a craft. Maybe it was malfunctioning. Maybe it had some kind of cloaking system and didn't expect a human to get so close. And when I did, they panicked. They stunned me, took me, studied me. I had just had surgery. Maybe that made me interesting to them. I didn't have any scars or injuries afterward. But the burning pain, the numb skin, the hair removal, it was almost surgical, clean, purposeful. What haunts me most is how far I traveled in just 15 minutes. Through swamps, creeks, dense woods. It should have taken an hour or more. I wasn't supposed to see them, but I did, and they made sure I wouldn't remember anything more. To the man who shared this story, and to all those who've lived through experiences like it, if you're listening, I hope you find peace. I hope you someday find answers. As for the rest of us, maybe it's time we stop brushing these tales aside as mere fiction. Perhaps the world is stranger than we dare imagine. These are the kinds of stories you hear in the smoke pit, the ones people carry in silence. And once you hear them, they stay with you.